Hi, I'm Sergeant Craig Stout with the Fayetteville Police Department, and today we're going to be talking about winter weather driving tips. As we're approaching the winter months, it's always time to start thinking about winter weather driving tips and inclement weather, specifically snow and ice. In this part of the country, it seems to never fail that whenever we least expect it, we get a snowstorm or an ice storm that really causes a lot of issues. Whenever you're talking about driving, the most important thing that you can do is if you find yourself driving on ice and snow is to slow down. Everything takes longer on slick roads, from turning to stopping. Another good thing to remember is know the capabilities of your vehicle. Know what your vehicle is capable of and know your own limitations. If you're not comfortable driving in winter weather, it's always a good idea not to. Typically what we see is a lot of time people want to get out, they want to see the pretty weather, but unfortunately it also means that they end up in a collision or stuck, and it can be a real burden to you and to emergency services as well. Another good idea is make sure that your vehicle is ready for winter weather, which means making sure that your tires are properly inflated, making sure that you have good wiper blades, that you have an ice scraper. Whenever you're driving in ice, you have to have a good visibility. A small hole about the size of a pancake is not sufficient to be able to be driving down the road. So it's always good to make sure that your vehicle is prepared for that winter weather, which means if you know that an inclement weather is coming, to try to do what you can to make sure that it's prepared to where you have to do the least amount of scraping as you can. Some of the other things that you can do too is to keep your gas tank about half full. This prevents the gas line from freezing. But also having a full tank of gas can also mean additional weight in the vehicle, which if you have a rear-wheel drive vehicle, that can give you additional power, which means a little extra weight. You have to remember a gallon of gas weighs approximately about 8 pounds, so the more you have in the back of your car, the more weight, that can always help you out. The other thing that you can do is make sure that your vehicle is ready to travel. Make sure that if you can at all, travel with the cell phone. So if you do get stuck, you have the way to call for help. It's always a good idea to keep warmer clothes or something like that in your vehicle. A blanket, gloves, hat, footwear, and water just in case you get stuck for a long time. While it is rare that we have someone get stuck for an extended period of time, you never know when that could happen, so you want to be prepared. Preparedness is the key. Another thing that you can do is keep some things to help you get traction. One of the biggest recommendations is a small bag of kitty litter. Just a little bit of kitty litter under your tires can give you additional traction you might need to get stuck from a bad position. Whenever going up a hill, try not to power up, try not to use too much gas. Applying extra gas gets the wheels to spinning, so it's always better to try to take off slowly. If you can, say it's an automatic transmission, you can actually put your transmission in like drive 2, which means that you're not getting as much power to those wheels and you get a slower takeoff. Another important thing to remember, just because you have a four-wheel drive vehicle, while those four wheels help you go, they don't help you stop. You can't stop any faster than a normal vehicle. Sad to say, far too often we see too many four-wheel drive vehicles that are off in the ditch because they got going faster than they probably should have. You hit a small patch of ice, and again, while the four-wheel drive helps you go, it doesn't help you stop and it doesn't help you maintain control when you're in a spin. If you don't have to get out, it's always just best to stay at home. Don't take a chance at getting stuck or getting into a wreck. Far too often we see people that are trying to get to work when they really don't have to be at work, or trying to get somewhere that they really don't need to be. We know that it's kind of commonplace to get bored at home, especially if it's an extended ice storm, snowstorm, and they need to get out. They're getting that cabin fever, but it's really not worth it getting yourself hurt by being in a collision. Thanks again for watching, and remember, getting out in the ice and snow, is it really worth getting yourself hurt or damaging your vehicle? Is the cost of whatever you have to do really worth that damage? If it's not, stay home. Enjoy the snow, go sledding.